In our streaming obsessed world, do you miss DVD commentary tracks? Well, fear not, because I, Von Fry, am here to give you commentary tracks for the movies we love and sometimes love to hate. Tonight, got one that's a bit of a fan favorite, The Karate Kid from 1984, starring Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, I might have said that wrong, and I'm sure some other people, like Billy Zabka, right? But before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at CalderaLab.com, makers of The Good. This serum will have you waxing on and waxing off. Use my promo code FRY15 to save 15% at checkout. Okay, I've got my popcorn ready. That is homemade Pop Light from Presto with the Orville Redenbacher, the pink Himalayan salt, and some Reese's Pieces sprinkled in. I've also got me an IBC root beer, and I'm trying to learn my lesson here, not to spill this all over myself. I'm gonna use the twist top. It's a twist top. We're gonna try that. Oh, it hurts my hands so much. Okay, come on. I'm a big boy. I can do this. This is a twist top, right? Come on. Christ. Oh my God. I'm gonna cut my hand up. All right. Jesus. Okay, I actually had to turn the lights on and see that it does say twist top on here, but I cut my hand up and I may need a tetanus shot. I'm going to hope that this doesn't explode all over me like it did last time. All right, without any further ado, if you'd like to watch along to The Karate Kid, cue it up on Netflix, go to 0000 and hit play now. Rated PG. Ah, yes. This might be the movie you think of when you see this particular Columbia lady. Columbia Pictures. It doesn't say Sony yet. The one that I really like is the one at the beginning of Bad Boys. That's one a lot of people point to. Newark, New Jersey, September. You don't want to say what year? I think a lot of people could check the beginning of this movie and not remember how it starts. I mean, this is a movie that I think everyone's looking at with the rose-tinted glasses. It's okay. It is overrated. The best thing about it, probably Mr. Miyagi, really keeps the movie afloat here. And if you look in the, I don't believe that this is the whoever plays Ralph Macchio's mom, Ralph Macchio and his mom here in this scene. I think they went and shot this kind of B-roll with some stand-ins in a sense. And I think you'll see them get out of the car here, and it's definitely not them on their trek to California, because, hey, it's expensive to take people across the country for one shot. Elisabeth Shue, whose autobiography should be called Second Jennifer. Look at that. We can't even be bothered to put a camera mounted on like the A-pillar or the hood or anything, have some in-car talk. We're just going to kind of loop over the sound bites. ADR almost. And it's not even ADR. More like voiceover narration. Bill Conti. John G. Avildsen. Invoking a lot of that underdog, what worked with Rocky, let's try it again, change the sport. It feels different enough that I don't really think that you look at this as the karate version of Rocky. But it is that underdog sports story. Ah, yes. Who can help but recall all those times where they traveled across country in a station wagon? Here we go. We're pushing it, and that is not Ralph Macchio. and mom. Definitely not. Bit of a running gag here. You got to push this car to get it going. I suppose that because his car, he had bad cars, right? Like he had a bad car. He gets a good one from Mr. Miyagi in the course of this film. But maybe that kind of leads him to being a car dealer. Of course, we got to look at this now as one would through the lens of Cobra Kai. We only have we have 3 palm trees there. I think there's 2 or 1 up there in the center when this comes into play in Cobra Kai. Oh man, the adventure on the road is over. This movie is coming in bizarrely quiet. I really have to crank up my TV volume here. I mean, I can understand if you're this age, you're high school, you miss your friends, you uproot. I mean, it's difficult starting again in a new school, especially if you're not really that prepared for it. You haven't really developed your cool talk, your walk, you got your new kicks, none of that. Those Cortez he has, I've looked for those, and they're made in China. They'll run you about $1,000 pretty well worn. Because those are about like 1980 Cortez. Nike's right there. Now this is a little odd, I feel. He makes a friend right off the bat. They look like they're going to be buddies throughout the movie. Like he'll be his buddy, Elisabeth Shue will be his girl, Mr. Miyagi's the sensei. But no, this guy straight drops him. Like we have a pretty good exchange and then just boom, I'm out of the movie. I don't know if karate was particularly popular. One would say kung fu in reference to what Bruce Lee's doing. This over 10 years after his death. Karate kind of comes... Frances Bay right there. Been a granny and everything. Deceased now. I think you may recall her as Adam Sandler's grandma in Billy Madison. No, Happy Gilmore, my bad. Look at the tan on Ralph Macchio. I mean, this guy, he was clicking off some hits, man. Macchio, he was in The Outsiders with like every teenage heartthrob. He's got this. I've heard he's a big deal in New Jersey now. Like when he shows up, you'd think the Pope came to sit down and have spaghetti. Stuff's broken. We need to go talk to the handyman. I check in on my hand I cut up over here. Good enough rapport, but chemistry between the actors and pretty much in all possible ways in this movie. Everybody, you feel like there's a rivalry. You feel like there's a teacher-student relationship. You feel like there's a single mom and a high school kid. Ralph Macchio, quite the baby face. He looks so young. He's a bit older. By the time you get to Karate Kid Part 3, it's like, hey, we got a 30-year-old, but he's in high school. He's supposed to be a senior defending his title. Come on. Hey, you the maintenance man? This guy? I think obviously Ninja Turtles put ninjas on the scene for in the mainstream, but this movie is the reason karate dojos started popping up in strip malls. And it lasted a while. Because by the time I was old enough to take some lessons, it was still going. It seemed like every kid was taking some kind of karate or a taekwondo. We have a fairly banging soundtrack. This is from 1984, so that is to be expected. Music actually picks up a lot louder than the dialogue there. Yeah, I've got some Italian in me. I can kick a soccer ball around. Elisabeth Shue is... She might be like on the cute roster, but I don't think she makes hot. And yeah, I know I'm being dismissive. Deal with it. All right, I'm kind of checking you out. As soon as Daniel gets beat up once, this new buddy of his, he's kicking the ball around. This guy just drops him like, well, you're not cool enough for me. Now, there was a YouTube video years back that kind of pointed out how from a different perspective, Daniel's the bad guy. New guy comes in town and starts talking to my girl. I was just from the perspective of Johnny Lawrence. Yeah, he's talking to my girl, and I just got out of rehab or like making something up, whatever. I'm trying to patch things up. I'm on the straight and narrow. And you kind of go, oh, okay, hey, this kind of makes sense. And that video seems to be the basis for Cobra Kai, trying to show the other side of the story and catch up with where Johnny's at. Unfortunately, I feel like as Macchio is a producer in the show, he basically takes over. And by later seasons, it feels like we're dealing very little with Johnny's struggle. And instead, we're setting up scenarios for Danielson to get the better of Terry Silver. Last season was a monstrosity. And I have low expectations for the final season coming up. And there's even supposed to wrap up with a movie. I do not intend on doing commentary tracks for the other entries in this franchise. But hey, if you absolutely demand it, let me know in the comments below. Hey, I'll give Billy and Ralph some credit here. I mean, they don't look bad older. He's talking to my girl and he's trying to teach her soccer. I can't have that. I say this movie's overrated, but boy, has it been replicated. There is a lot of variations on this. Oh, yeah? You're the new guy in town, but the girl you like has the biggest jerk in the school as a boyfriend? Well, and then you guys have to fight at the end or compete head to head? We're not going out anymore, you know that. Johnny, you're being a bit of a jerk. In fairness, that was not a top shelf radio right there. Oh yeah, let's square off. Let me get my stance. Wow, that was these are some of the softest trips I've ever seen In the sand, no less. You don't even need a stunt double. Ooh, he spins. This guy must know something special. He knows karate. I wonder what the condition of this beach is now. I'm assuming highly polluted, needles. Ooh, a sucker punch. And you're supposed to be the good guy? Come on. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. I like his jacket. The Cobra Kai jacket in red here. Definitely giving a little bit of Beat It vibes. Huh, we're making fun of you because your friend's a goof who just got beat up. I guess you'll never talk to him again. Yeah, you're right. One of the things that bothers me about Daniel is like every time he takes a hit, he sells like better than Ric Flair. Like everything is devastating. Everything breaks his arm, breaks his leg. Well, no, radio's definitely broken now. Just when you thought you were making friends. No, and the party wasn't that okay. Take a look at your kid. Wow, this is one 80s apartment building. I mean, we've got Minute Maid. Look at that couch in plaid. Baby browns. You never hear eyes referred to as baby browns. It'll be baby blues, or let me see your eyes. A shiner. It looks worse than it. That's really always the case with the black eyes. It's a cruel summer, man. Bananarama. Look at that. Kids can skate and bike to school without any panhandlers. Homeless folk all bound. Dodging excrement and needles. None of that. Surprising. I'm gonna have to give this movie a little, another little credit when it comes to style. It doesn't have too terribly obtrusive clothing or hairstyles. It's not something that is totally out of 1984, but it's fairly restrained. You don't see the big wall hair. And you don't see enough of those kind of like 70s makeshift mullet bowl cuts. We're not friends with you anymore because you lost a fight. Look how skinny everybody is. Except Elisabeth Shue. I mean, for a skinny girl, really the height of her powers is adventures in babysitting. I'll tell you that. Beyond that, would not. Oh, she was so mesmerized by your moves. She practiced. Alley with an eye. Oh yeah, because who would have thought you needed to put an L in Daniel? It is bizarre that this relationship is a pretty big part of the movie. Forgotten. I think in 2 it's made reference to her. Yeah, she's going somewhere for the summer, Mr. Miyagi. So am I, you know. Hey, why don't we go to Japan? Very lame cheer routine. Yeah, that's weak. Oh, but she can do a back handspring. Okay. And then in the third one, it's like, oh man, I can't believe we broke up. I know. And then they pawn him off onto a new girl. And it's like, oh, hey, I have a boyfriend. Oh, that's cool. We'll just be friends. But I think it was kind of brought in when they realized that she was under 18, Robin Lively. And so it makes for a weird change. Like this character is brought in to be his friend who is a girl for the movie. It sucks. I'm not so sure if sucks is used in this terminology before this. It is my understanding it's actually coined from farmers. Possibly in like the Dust Bowl era. Well, guess I'm gonna have to learn some karate. Just get a magazine and... Oh, hey, you're Asian. You must know karate. Pat is putting on this this accent. I believe he was in the Japanese internment camps in World War II, I think. And he actually, as entertainment goes, he started as a comedian. He called himself, and I'm going to get canceled for this, his words, not mine, the hip nip. Oh, he knows he didn't fall off a bike. You fall off a bike and now you're learning how to defend yourself? Sure. But Pat sounds, every bit American as most people born and raised in America. He's putting on the voice. She wants you pretty bad, Daniel. Allie with an eye. Of course, she returns for Cobra Kai for a bit. Daniel's there the whole damn time. It should be Johnny's show. Robin Lively was in last season to be like, hey, I'm actually the cousin of Daniel's eventual wife. Look at that, man. Basic Doritos. Those are not easy to find. Do they still ring up the lunch like that at school? Because, I think when I was in high school, they still had a similar machine. That was over 20 years ago. Hey, Mom, I'm going to go check out this karate place. Yeah, okay. It is eventually made reference in the Cobra Kai show to why are these adults this concerned about the exploits of teenage karate, of kids who are not their own sons, in many cases. Kreese, he seems to be so like he's making real men here. And maybe if you had enough Cobra Kai dojos, you can make an impact on society. Maybe that's the idea. Imagine how many dojos you'd need for that. One movie that sets the lesson would have a better impact. Ah, fresh meat. Man, I picked the place where he goes. It was a good reveal right there. That's a cute scene, cute shot. I know that this is not the most overproduced thing with the the amazing edits and rotoscoped effects all abound and inner CGI inner struggle stuff like this, but you just have some well framed shots with the 80s aesthetic, and it's pretty captivating. We're doing a bit of a deep focus thing here as we see Johnny and his boys. Hey guys, look. It's that kid. Come back over here. No way. He has a mom. She has 80s hair. Oh, whoa. It's too expensive. Man, that is some prime ass real estate right there. That's not strip mall stuff. That is like Fenty shop, Rodeo Drive type building. Never understood why they can't just call it Rodeo Drive. Prettier than Judy? We need to meet Judy. It's the final season. We got to meet Judy. And why don't we bring in Hilary Swank? She wants to be on the show desperately. She's available. She had a show on ABC. It got canceled. My mom and dad actually liked it. The Alaskan Daily, right? But yeah, Hilary Swank's Julie, the next Karate Kid. I remember when that came out in 94. It kind of had a little bit of a crush on her. They had a HBO behind the scenes making of 30-minute special. They had a lot of those back in the day, and it was nice seeing them. And it showed her kind of like how she was training up. The movie turned out to be garbage, but you know that. She was, as far as on screen goes, Mr. Miyagi's last student. Oh no. Stunt double. I'm calling it out. That doesn't mean I'm upset about it. I will take a stunt double over a fully CGI stunt any day. Because I know somebody did that. And that's the difference. I got to check in on my hand over here that I really jacked up real nice. Oh man, I'm going to need a bandage. Yeah, I felt like it, Ma. Stupid bike. It was the bike keeps attacking me. Totally different movie here. It's a possessed bike. Ralph Macchio didn't really get a whole lot of adult roles. I think the oldest I saw him in something that was a hit, My Cousin Vinny. In which Vinny is his cousin. Really good movie. Hey, bikes. Look how little stuff he has. That bike is like the most expensive thing he owns. This is a pre-iPhone era, kids. I might be able to help this boy. Should I interfere? I did open the door so that the audience knows I was listening. I would like to know how comfortable desks are in schools these days. Is the plan to wear the camo pants to look a little tough? Like, maybe we don't want to mess with a guy who has aspirations to be in the armed services. I keep getting these bike accidents. It's wild. Girl wants to give him the benefit of the doubt. Whoa, you got in a motorcycle accident? Not really. These guys have motorcycles. I'm over here on a bicycle. You would almost think we could be setting up a scenario where there's a big bike race to end a movie. Now he's even snapping at Allie with an eye. What? Where'd this bike come from? There's only one guy here who could fix a bike. Mr. Miyagi, a man of few words. He gets the big bang for the buck out of him, doesn't he? Like, if he talks, it's going to be important. He talks so little, you'd think he's just being annoyed by Daniel. I really don't know enough about bonsai trees to be commenting a great deal here. Does Mr. Miyagi make the most out of bald with the hair around the side? I mean, because I can think of a few other guys that actually try it. Captain Picard, Hulk Hogan, Mr. Miyagi. It's a underappreciated look. So it's a matter of shaping this tree. Clip here, clip there. How much clipping can you do? Do you overdo it? How frequently do you need to do this? But then there's artificial sort of bonsai, and then there's the true bonsai, and these are not the true ones. There's one true one in the area, as they point out, and when they make Mr. Miyagi's little tree shop. My goodness sake. Karate Kid Part 3. Aha. No one can ever resist cutting the bonsai tree. All right, you're overdoing it. Slow it down. Exactly what goal are we going for here? Yours does not look like a lion. Oh, hey, my son's making a friend. You fixed her bike? Wow, she gives her son too much credit. Could not tell you what bikes cost at that time. I know that when I got my first $100 bike, really the last bike I had, it's probably like 96. That one looks a little uneven. Little trim too sharp, I would say. That's why I'm giving it to you, Danielson mom. Got school tomorrow. I don't want you playing with your trees. Mind you, this is before the Nintendo Entertainment System came around to make video games quite addicting. Though I do thank my lucky stars that I was able to experience games in the manner in which I did. If I was starting out with something as addicting as the free-to-play, spend all your money on skins model that is Fortnite, man, in the FOMO of missing out on events if you don't play enough, I don't know if I'd accomplish anything. Not that I've accomplished anything at all myself. All right, we're getting ready for a Halloween dance. Not the best jack-o'-lantern. It would have been nice to have something a little more impressive on the jack-o'-lantern side of things from Mr. Miyagi. Sporting a San Diego Chargers jersey? You're supposed to be from Jersey. Shouldn't you be representing perhaps the Giants or the Jets? You don't have a costume? Well, we got to do something about that. Invisible Man might just be the option for you, Daniel. There is no shortage of costumed parties at high schools in 80s movies. I see an Indiana Jones. I don't believe there's anything in the way of Star Wars here. You know, a lot of it's a little more on the not copywritten, like, hey, skeletons. Oh, actually, hold on, I say that, but is Allie kind of... Nah, she's not quite Princess Leia. A little more Princess Leia meets Renfest, maybe? This costume with the shower is terrible, by the way. I doubt that flower even smells that good. Oh yeah, it's hilarious. This guy's just hitting people with raw eggs because he's a chicken. That's great. Uh-oh, it's those guys. I don't think that skeleton costume is particularly flattering. But because Johnny dressed up as one of these skeletons, Miggy has to do so in Cobra Kai. Because, hey, remember? All right, so we're not messing with him too much, but we did break his bike. Johnny is due for some comeuppance for that, isn't he? And he's got weed in the school. PG movie, guys. In fact, I believe all the Karate Kid movies, including, actually, not sure if the remake, I'm doing air quotes because it really should be called the Kung Fu Kid. That's what it's known as internationally. He learns Kung Fu, not karate. The characters are different. It's not really a remake. It is very much... look, I know it's branded as a remake in ways, and because of that, Will Smith is even a producer on Cobra Kai. I'm all wet. Oh no. Let me tell you, if you're wet and you're running on a gym floor, you're going to slide. Dude, drop the costume. This is a more involved car crash than they'd be willing to put up with in today's movies. Hell, I don't think you get a car crash like that in Cobra Kai. Now, we're coming to the turning point in the movie here. Pivotal. This is where Mr. Miyagi is going to happen to be present. Man, he lives so close to school, doesn't he? He lives like a block away from school, evidently. Yeah, we're all going to take turns beating you up. Oh, yeah. Punch in the stomach. Oh, man, he oversells. It's too much. What? He's had enough, man. He can barely stand. He's not even bleeding. Come on. Mr. Miyagi on the fence. I don't know what he did. Give him a wet willy and that made him fall down. But in an almost decoy type manner. Yeah, I believe we were seeing some stunt double there for Pat. He's fainted from, I don't know, a punch to the stomach in a roundhouse. It didn't look that brutal. I prefer... Look, yeah, I mean, blasphemy, I know, but the Kung Fu Kid, the Karate Kid with an actual kid in it, and Jackie Chan, it's kind of an upgrade movie, and you're only faulting it for not being this movie. Because Jackie Chan brings a much more involved level of fighting to the film. And I like the way how he's able to defeat the kids without hitting them. He gets them to hit each other. Because here you have a grown man beating up kids, essentially. But in his defense, it's an elderly man beating up kids, right? I want to be in that situation someday where I get to beat up some high school kids. But I need to first bait a high school kid to be the beat up E for me to rescue so that I can prompt my fight with the kids. That is what Mr. Miyagi did. Here, somebody's got to drink this tea. Yeah, you never asked if I know karate. Because it's racist to assume you do. Yeah, he was a fisherman and a karate master. That was my dad, yeah. I don't believe that karate is a Japanese discipline. But he's trying to explain that it came over to his island from China. Much like other things come from China, right? And then they totally take over a country's interests. Think you can teach me? Revenge is not a good reason to take up Karate Kid. He wants to install the martial arts as a defensive thing. He doesn't say fighting is never the answer. It's the last answer. There's a really good repertoire and chemistry here, and that's certainly a crux of the film. The training in the, if you could just isolate the scenes between Miyagi and Daniel, you have a quality movie. It's so much in between and the kind of the predictability of that bring it down. Because you have a very different movie when it's just these two in a scene. You have a very hard drama, and then you almost have like angled towards a teen demo in the other parts of the movie. Thanks for nothing. Yeah, I'm still really sore, but okay. Oh, yeah, I've changed my mind. Yeah, thanks for willing to teach me. Canvas belt from JCPenney, $3.98. I don't think you can get a belt that cheap, even a canvas one. He's cracking the bad jokes, right? But yeah, I mean, Daniel's like, what do you? He knows something. You want to have a black belt? He knows that much. Of course, in the Jaden Smith Karate Kid, we have a similar thing going on where, and you can't give it a ton of credit for copying. The guy takes the lessons, doesn't realize he's taking lessons. It's like, hey, it feels like I'm just being a handyman. I like the way how this is pointed out for comedic effect in Cobra Kai, but I feel like all too often Cobra Kai goes for the laughs. And it really can't help it. It doesn't have this look. It doesn't look like a movie. I mean, Cobra Kai started life as a YouTube original. Wasn't it YouTube Red at the time? Yep. Got to have that gag where the guy can't drive, which also means they're constantly stepping on the brake. Let's go see what these guys are all about. They're champions of this All Valley thing. Okay. So the All Valley is in December. You just wanted this guy to throw some punches and stand there. Now you're just going to throw him down just to be like, I have an opportunity to throw people. Of course, Miyagi's like, hey, this guy, he teaches bad karate. We definitely have to teach him a lesson. You have a scenario here where I swear everybody in the 80s looks so much older than their age now. I mean, like, look, if you saw a 25-year-old now, you'd be like, oh, yeah, they look like a certain age. These kids here, it's like you could almost think that they were your dad, right? Is it normal to just have visitors just kind of walk in and you kind of keep instructing? You don't want to call and make an appointment? Oh, yeah, I jumped some of your students. One-on-one problem, yes. This was 5-on-1, yeah. It's a Sakurai Dojo. We teach assault on the street. Let's meet at this tournament instead and hope that we all advance up to the finals so that we can have... Yeah, that'll work. It does offer a bit of a parlay here. No fighting until the tournament. Gets him that. Oh, yeah. You're going to train him, right? Okay, sure, yeah. It's going to make it all the sweeter when we kick his ass. No one touches the prima donna. Man, the routine of canceling that would occur for talking to a kid like that. Open season on him and you. I mean, these threatening words here. Hey, you got to make it seem like there's stakes in your teen movie without anybody whipping out a gun. Can't do The Outsiders again. Oh, great. This is just great. I can't believe this. Two months of not getting beat up. Don't you enjoy it? It's weird to think that he has a house yet also an apartment, because he's like the maintenance man, and it seems like he's a live-in maintenance man at the apartment complex. So, but he also has a house over here. So which is it? It's more about earning respect than winning the fight. But this will take a different path than Rocky. Admiring your sweet rides over here. Of course, you got to give it up to Netflix on the quality here. I would think if you were paying for the 4K, this might even come in 4K. It looks like a really good master of what I'm watching here in 1080p. I was watching a movie from 2002 the other night on Stars, and it looked like a sloppy up-converted DVD in the wrong aspect ratio. All right, I'm going to tell you, cry is important, all this. We're going to get to training, but I'm going to need you to do some chores. You get to wear my, I don't know what we call this, bandana thing. I say you do, no questions, right? All right, we've got a deal. All right, first wash all the cars, then wax. There we go. No, we agreed. I say you do. Wax on, wax off. For a time, that was probably the big takeaway catchphrase of this movie. In its day, that was probably the big catchphrase. Now, it might be something more akin to what they say at Cobra Kai. It's only the older movies that have the quotable lines, isn't it? I mean, I'd even go as far near the end of the movie, get him a body bag. The breathing is very important when you wax the car. Daniel's not really picking up on this. The audience is not necessarily either. Oh, man. You'd think these things got a paint job. In fact, they probably did. Like they're ready for a car show. You can tell that took him some time. It's night. I miss the way a good night scene used to look in the 80s, where it looked like they were actually outside in the dark, yet you could see what was happening. Maybe I shouldn't interrupt him while he's, I don't know, praying or meditating. Or sleeping. I can't believe you guys are still getting in fights. Don't worry, my instructor beat the shit out of them. Really, you got an arm in a sling from Mr. Miyagi? I'd like to point out, I'm pretty sure Jean-Claude Van Damme is younger than Ralph Macchio. Or it's damn close. But a year later, you got No Retreat, No Surrender, with somewhat similar vibes, with a weird Bruce Lee ghost story brought in to serve as the instructor. Not a good movie. Some decent fighting, training, whatever happening, but Jean-Claude Van Damme would just straight destroy everybody in the collective Karate Kid Cobra Kai universe, possibly at the same time. I mean, it kind of shows you like the progression, the quick progression we went to with the karate. Of course, I'm not even saying that's a well-known movie or nothing, but Bloodsport. I mean, Bloodsport's around the time of Karate Kid Part 3, and you just think that those two would... Daniel would be dead in one hit. There should have been a Daniel-like character in Bloodsport, just as a joke. Hey, you had an agreement. They're not supposed to attack you at school. That was part of the... I don't know what would have happened if they broke the agreement. You didn't need to go get the teacher to be like an escort to class. Uh-oh, Allie with an eye. She's well-to-do. See how you walk up the stairs that go straight to her front door, and it's not like you have to go upstairs and then around a bunch of other people's front door? This is a problem. Uh-oh. The parents see me, and they see that I'm tan, and that's a problem. We are trying to work in a class, race, social issue. You want me to meet your parents? We've been out at the club, sport. Yes, we got the tennis rackets. Very 80s parents right here. The place is actually called Golf and Stuff. He said Reseda? Ooh, I don't like that. Look at the concern. Look at that beat up junk car right there, and she's overly friendly. I don't like this. I'm going to put my hands on my wife's shoulder to hold her back. All right, now we got to give it a push. Allie with an eye can drive a stick. Not a good look, having to push your date. Oh, the parents are not happy. Well, I'm looking at these houses, and yeah, they're a bit gaudy, but you know that the retail today, even if they were still standing or not, it is called Golf and Stuff. And I think this place is it maybe still called Golf and Stuff for Cobra Kai? Maybe. I think Tori works there, or worked there at one point on the show, and the water slide part may even be a Golf and Stuff as far as the show is concerned. Hey, if you didn't bring a bathing suit, you know you're pretty limited on what you're more focused on what you'll do at Golf and Stuff, right? It's going to be the games. And the putt-putt or miniature golf, whichever you want to call it. This is, I don't know what's with the tracks, but it's like the music is so much louder than the rest of the movie. That's not typical. Kids could tell what a photo booth is. I don't know if that's too alien of a concept to them. I'm talking about kids these days. Oh, wow. It's that older guy I know who has a Corvette. Yeah. And that is the new Corvette. It's, what is it, 200 horsepower? It might be 220, but it's still going to largely dust whatever else around there. Oh, the embarrassing part where mom comes and picks you up. Mom doesn't look like she's that embarrassed about it, but, huh? What about the car? What? I like the way how she's smiling, like, oh, hey, kids. I didn't know it was embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, got to get back to waxing cars, right? It's a 2-hour movie. The Karate Kid could probably stand to be a little shorter in runtime, but you do get a good, fulfilling, epic quality out of it also, which you may not get if this was around 100 minutes. He's so much humor, really. Funny you should ask. I was going to have you do this exercise. Develop the muscle memory subconsciously. Nope. Always in a circle. It is more effective how they introduce this concept in the training in this movie than in the Jaden Smith. Because it's like, put on the jacket, take the jacket up, put it on, take it off. He doesn't know why he's doing it. Here, it's like, at least he knows he's doing something. Hey, you're washing and waxing the cars. But do it this way. You're sanding the floor. Do it this way. You know, I thought I was going to be learning some karate. And we got to develop your shoulder muscles first. Skinny as a twig. Ralph Macchio is like particularly skinny for his age. I mean, you couldn't expect a guy to be that skinny if he was 14. No, now he has about an average build. All right, admit it, you have tried the chopsticks fly snatch. And you probably have tried to do it for TikTok. And this appears to be a fly on a string. Man who catches fly with chopsticks accomplishes anything. Huh, you can try if you wish. My grandma had a fly swatter with a big hole in the middle. And the logic being was to give the fly a chance. Which means wouldn't you just swat again? Not just be like, okay, it survived, I guess we leave it alone. You can see the string on this fly. Look above it. He only caught it because he caught the string. What, I can accomplish anything now? Cool. First accomplish paint the fence. I mean, I guess I can do that. It's going to show me how. And this will muscle memory a form. No, look at me, look at fence. Keep your eyes forward without telling him so. It is tedious, but I think this is really well implemented. Like I said, like if you could just distill the movie to only the scenes between Miyagi and Daniel, you'd have a much better film. And look, there's nothing fancy about this. It's just, all right, we do a little bit of suggestive time lapse here and nope, you have a lot of fence left. Both sides. What? I guess I haven't done both sides. Okay. Well, you know, it's just a quick dissolve between scenes. And then that tells you some time has gone past. Come morning, start early. What are we starting exactly? Hey Daniel, how's the classes going? Well, I waxed his car, sanded the deck, and painted the fence. I have a feeling if the strip mall was going about this approach, there would be refunds issued. All right, what kind of chores does he have for me this time? Paint house, no up down, go side to side. And what do you know? He's going to paint the house anyway. Though I feel like Miyagi should have shown him the technique at first so that he could get that down. We had a deal, so? Wait, what do you mean, so? Come on. I'm from Jersey. You don't treat a guy like this. I'm a made man. Take note, Mr. Miyagi. Not a lot of raising his voice, not cursing, but he commands a scene, doesn't he? And that's part of why Patty Boy here, he got I think he got a Best Supporting Actor Oscar nomination. I have a technique here to heal wounds. Icy hot style, but only the hot part so much. Sand the floor. Show me. I mean, sand the floor may as well also be wax on, wax off, isn't it? Circular motions with hands. Yeah, makes that. Yeah. He's subconsciously learning karate right before his eyes. I guess sand the floor is a kick deflection thing. We have wax on, wax off would be the punch deflection. I'm not really seeing the use of paint the house. In the classes I took, there was a lot of this overhead blocking, the way he's doing with the wax paint the fence. All right, here we go. Now this is kicks, right? Yeah, sand the floor is kicks. Mix it up. No, you got to maintain that eye contact when you bow, or you'll get kicked in the face. Whoa, I know kung fu. I mean karate. I kind of want those Nike Cortez, man. We're going to hit you with the classical music now. Forget that 80s soundtrack. Man, you wanted some Academy Award consideration, just pop in some classical during your movie, and it just seemed to manifest. Yeah, that water's going to teach you some balance. I have seen the ocean once. I'm from Kansas. I have dipped my toes slightly along the edge of A spot one might be able to call a beach by a aircraft carrier, but it wasn't like a sand beach, like nothing like this. Yeah, I know it seems overly long that he's just kind of playing in the water, but I really feel like the training, the one-on-one stuff, Miyagi and Daniel, all the stuff with them, it's gold. Even when you get to the tournament, things are not as good as when they're isolated. Hold on, you're doing a crane kick thing? Show me that. This might make a good poster. I'm surprised he didn't give him the cold is a state of mind thing. You don't need a blanket. Crane technique. There you go. If do right, no kin defense. Honestly, it doesn't look that good of an offense. And I think that the way in which the tournament is won is rather hokey. I hope they're using the N word here. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm a white guy and this is America. I'm going to keep my beer bottles on your vehicle. That he could... Look, it's movie magic, but if you get a dude here who can chop the necks off the beer bottles without them moving, pretty damn impressive and scary. They will make use of that technique when it comes to the ice breaking, which I swear would have to be completely impossible for Daniel in Karate Kid Part 2. Country club. Sorry, we have a rule about skin tone. Yeah, playing soccer with the socks way up there. I wonder how far they had to drive to get these locations. All right. Every little training thing we do here, we have to do in Cobra Kai. Though it's a bit inverted in that it's Daniel teaching Johnny's son. When you have the body of a 12-year-old. I mean, they're lucky they're doing a point system-based karate thing. If it's a full contact, there'd be trouble. I wonder if Ralph over here ever slipped and had to do this scene again. Pretty decent amount of lines to have to go through for one sustained take. Try to do this in a single shot. Well, okay, we're mixing it up a little bit, but still, I mean, imagine the amount of edits there would be in modern. When you have a sustained shot and you let the actors act, it does seem like that makes the content be taken more seriously. Yeah, when you learn how to keep dry, then I'll show you how to punch. Hey man, should have tipped the boat over on Miyagi right there. Must have been pretty shallow though. You had no trouble jumping back in. Oh, I have a feeling it's going to be a largely white group at the country club. Trouble with Johnny? You love birds? You got the hokey upper crust voice. Okay, am I imagining things, or was Johnny just sitting down and now he's dancing with her mom? I think that was the case. A bit of a continuity issue. I have to look at that again. You guys aren't very good at truces. Quit calling truces. I've tried to suggest to Elisabeth Shue to call her autobiography Second Jennifer. I'm going to ask her again. Is Encino like upper crust or not? Because it didn't seem, Beverly Hills in Encino Man. It wasn't Malibu. Try to spot the minorities. I'm not seeing any. What about on the help staff? He completely freaked out because he saw us kissing. And everybody's going to laugh at him. Adults don't really do that. They don't go, oh, hey, let's all laugh at that kid over there that spilt something on himself. We're going to get a sad story from Miyagi in an oral tradition sense. If we clouded this with a flashback sequence, I think it would be worse. I mean, I think then it would take you out of the film. It'd look goofy in some regard. But I'll say this. The version of this scene that Jackie Chan does in the Jaden Smith Karate Kid, that was great. Like, that was like the best acting I've seen out of Jackie Chan from a dramatic sense. Seriously though, if you haven't watched or you don't want to give it a chance, take a look at that Karate Kid again. All right, so we have bonsai trees, but we're supposed to yell bonsai when we drink also. Well, you got your old World War II uniform on. What's with that? Why don't you tell me a story, old man? We're married. Well, Daniel, don't ask how she's doing today. Oh, there you do it. Where is she now? You had to go and say it. She left me because I like to teach karate. Daniel is like the most naive teenager ever, isn't he? This is 1984. The drinking laws were a little bit different. I think drinking age was 18. Sergeant Miyagi reporting. Killed many Jerry Germans, huh? Kind of giving his story here. While out at service, wife has complications at birth, died. No doctors came. I think she was in the internment camp. Didn't get a doctor. Died in childbirth. Yes, he moves to Japanese. I mean, that he has any spirit at all after that is a marvel, because I think most of us would be completely devastated. To the extent that there's no recovery. Ah, yeah, drink yourself to sleep, old man. There we go. We need to see how Miyagi could handle a firearm, because, I mean, the guy got a Congressional Medal of Honor. Yeah, at the relocation camp, wife and newborn son died. You couldn't figure that out without reading that, Johnny? I mean, Daniel, come on. All right, I need to pay better attention, really. Is it the anniversary of her death or the anniversary of their marriage that he's celebrating right now? Wait, what do we got here? I'm going to look at these dog tags first. Screw the Congressional Medal of Honor. Oh, wait. What's that? I mean, if you had any sense about you at all, you'd be like, forget the dog. Let's look at this over here. Must have been a pretty good soldier. And is the idea that he applied himself more to the soldiering with his family gone? Like almost like in a death wish. It may be implied that that's the case. Daniel being naive as a character trait is good in the way that it doesn't make him a brat. I feel like the brat edge would be intrinsically put into the modern character and very hard to not have in a teenager today. Hey man, he is applying himself. I don't know, how hard is it to stand on the edge of the boat like that with no one on the other side to counterbalance? That looks like Ralph Macchio's build. when it came to seeing these movies on TV, this was a basic cable special. I think I usually caught like the first and the third one. It seemed like the second one didn't get as much time. Doing a little bit of Bruce Lee stuff. 1 inch. All the power is right here in 1 inch. Okay. Finally teaching me how to strike. We're running out of time, old man. Yeah, there we go. I'm not so sure that you can still get new umpire type chest pad and face mask like that today. I think the design's quite a bit different. Really good footwork right there. I had Muhammad Ali impression. Well, you know what? I think that's actually Pat doing that takedown right there. Maybe he didn't have a double for some of that stuff. But you know damn sure that Jackie Chan didn't have a double when he was doing his fight. Ain't no way in hell he had a double. Ah, whose birthday is it? Dear Danielson. Danielson. I don't have my girl. I don't have my mom. It's just us boys. What are you wishing for? To learn how to kick? I forgot what I got him for this gift. I forgot what this is. Ah, the gi. The Miyagi-Do emblem. Sun with bonsai tree. Ah, no, you don't take the patch off. You got to keep it. Make sure I got your size right. You're skinny as all hell. Doesn't matter if you stand a chance in the tournament. I'm not fighting anybody. Good words of wisdom throughout for Mr. Miyagi in this movie. Is this his learner's permit? I mean, because that's not even a laminated card. I forgot I had a mom. My mom is making a surprise cake for me. Then how do you know it's a surprise? Well, we got to get you home. You're going to need a car. Choose one. I think he picks the right one here. The yellow one is the one that really speaks to you. And I should have looked and saw what it is. Is this Studebaker? Is it? I don't know. I should know. It doesn't take much to think. He wants the convertible. All right, I'm going to need the keys. They're on your dog tags. Ooh. A license never replace eye, ear, and brain. Be attentive while driving. Yes. These are life lessons. It's not just you're learning karate. Lessons for a whole life. You're going to do good in that tournament. You're going to win back Allie with an eye. It's going to be good for you. And of course, he's your best friend you ever had. The other guy ditched you as soon as he lost a fight. Yeah, you're pretty okay, too. Let's not get too weird. There's an age gap. Find the balance. That's how you fight off the nerves, right? All right, let's go see Allie. No? I mean, I've got a cool car now, like that guy in the convertible. I thought you were into guys with fancy cars. Come on. No, he doesn't take a hint. This is golf and stuff. No hints given. Uh-oh. This guy hit her. A lot of abuse going around. I don't think the idea is that Johnny hit her. It's the guy in the Corvette, right? Arcade. All latest videos. Weird way to phrase that. Don't say games. Okay, he was supposed to take a hint, but then it's like she seems pretty into him. So which is it? And we're not giving... Allie's not that new age strong. Doesn't need saving. She's going to... How would we do this today? She enters the tournament also, right? I need to show you. I got a fancy car now. You said you could drive stick. Probably better driver than him. Now, this is a bit messed up. We're signing up for the tournament. Everybody's got to be a black belt. So we're just going to say he's a black belt. And, hey, Allie, can you kind of help me out over here? I'm going to take this belt I saw over here, and you're going to just pass that off to Daniel. And if not for that bag with a black belt in it, the movie would have come to a very unsatisfactory ending, and all of the valley would be changed. This guy has aggressively blonde hair and eyebrows. Points or no points, you're dead meat. Shouldn't it be Johnny saying these things instead of a guy we're kind of just now meeting? Cobra Kai, though, snazzy uniforms. The gi looks good. Got to give it to him. Oh, how'd you like to be saddled with the name Rufus? I only really know of one Rufus, and he's from Bill and Ted. What, they got multiple rings at a time? This thing's a big deal. Coming up with an excuse for Allie to be there. She's a translator now. Let's sign up for a tournament and not know the rules until just before the fight starts. Great strat. Quality coaching job right there. Oh, but Allie was paying attention. Wow, we got a small division right there. It's little squirts. Yeah, you don't need to be losing by running out of the ring right away. Might want to work on winning this opening match against an unnamed opponent. Oh, wow, that guy walked into that kick. Wow. I'm glad that we didn't have a good view of that fight because it looked bad. During the montage here, you're the best around. It's a little more involved, a little stronger. I'm telling you, it's still a far cry from Van Damme around this time even. With some flexibility on Johnny. That's good. Kreese always, he's got his hands up by the collar of the gi, like, yeah, we're cool. No sweat. Knew you beat him. Oh, this guy's Asian. We got to watch out. Johnny's just cruising. And Daniel looks nervous as all shit. Oh, man. This Asian guy over here, he's really kicking the crap out of our Cobra Kai boys. In fact, very few of our Cobra Kai boys are looking that good. All right, we're taking on the first Cobra Kai. I think this is the guy who says get him a body bag, who, the guy who says get him a body bag has passed away from cancer. They brought him in for an episode of Cobra Kai, and he was knocking on death's door. I think by the end of the episode, it's dedicated to him. It's the 80s. We gotta print some names on some boards and move them around. We don't have Carrie Underwood out there singing and, you know, fancy laser light shows, prompters, none of that. I think in a way this is better served by not having an announcing team or a... I mean, you might possibly not have that level of presentation at that time, and nowadays I'm not even so sure. Not for kids, high school kids. All right, you just have to survive. What do you mean by survive? These guys real killers? All right, we're going to introduce things, but we're not cutting away to guys in a booth giving the commentary. Defending champion Johnny Lawrence, 2-time winner. So the under 18 he won as a freshman and sophomore. And this being like junior year, I believe. It's not senior year, is it? Because they do have defending champion returns for part 3, automatic bid into the finals, which is bizarre. Hey, that guy that was beating up all the Cobra Kai dudes, yeah, he can take a fake punch from 3 inches out. I think in 84, it's just enough that it all led up to this. It's satisfying for most people. What was that guy's name even? Did it say? Oh, there's the cobras on the back. I think it's Bobby who says get him a body bag. We're going to sacrifice your dream of winning so Johnny can 3P. I want you to injure LaRusso, and it'll be easy for Johnny. Take him to the pain train. Oh, he looks so nervous. I wonder how many takes that was. I'm telling you, everything that makes contact with Ralph Macchio is a broken leg, a broken back, a broken wrist. Just goodness. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. He told me to hurt you. He's such a whiny drama king. Like, I kind of get the sense that Johnny doesn't approve of this. Other people at Cobra Kai kind of looking at Kreese like, you didn't have to do this. Bad luck, sure. It was bad luck. They cheated. Which is it? Miyagi is over here going to let him forfeit unless he begs him. Did I have a chance? You had a good chance. That thing you do. Miyagi knows it's a mumbo jumbo. But just do it anyway. Give me the confidence. Miyagi was ready to walk away. Daniel was like, hey, Miyagi, you know, what are my odds? You think you could help me? Heal me up with that thing you do. Had he not asked, just that would be it. You just stay on this table. We'll go watch Johnny win. Hey, that's an impressive trophy in the day right there. I know it's wood. I know it's got a lot of wood, but it's tall. He's back. He had what? What do they give him in these? Like an 8-minute grace period to recover. Not exactly time to recover from an injury. Maybe time to patch a cut, maybe. That's about it. Have you know, this takes place just before my birthday. Which is pretty wild to me. All right, he's a little limpy. He's got his leg raised. Puts up a terrible everything. Astonishing enough, he got a point on Lawrence, so I don't think anybody's scored on the whole tournament. There is a size discrepancy. You know, it gives you the David versus Goliath feels. Underdog, you need that. Huh? Sweep the leg. We already injured the leg. Why would we need to do that? No mercy. People quote that right there. Sweep the leg. Yeah, hell, you might hear sweep the leg more nowadays than wax on, wax off. Got to get some points so you can take them away by sweeping the leg, right? Miyagi, did you teach him roll on the floor like you're on fire? Was that technique one of your things? At what point is a point registered? Because some of this, it's like, oh, you get knocked down, but you didn't get punched while you were down, so you get to do a throw move. I think we saw a kip up there out of Johnny. Impressive enough. Must have been casting actual karate abilities for that role. Daniel, we can fudge. Oh no. Never really had to sweep the leg. It's more like elbow than the back of the kneecap. There you go. Get him, but yeah, that's the guy that died. Uh-oh. Crane. No can defense, right? Here we go, the amped up music. And just walks right into that right foot. And they pick up Cobra Kai here from, I mean, they kind of redo some of it with extras of sorts of Johnny being on the ground. You're all right, LaRusso. Thanks a lot. Okay, we're friends now. Only they don't really maintain a friendship for like, oh yeah, the smile right there. Mm-hmm. You see that gif around on Twitter. 2 picks up in the parking lot right there where you actually get Miyagi and Kreese going at it. So there's some catharsis for kicking off Karate Kid Part 2. Okay, well, that's going to do it for the Karate Kid. Hey, I did a poll asking which would you like to hear, Karate Kid or the Warriors commentary track. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do the Warriors, but you guys think this movie's a bit on the overrated side? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, adios.